Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can everybody hear me all right? Yes. That's never been one of my problems. First, I want to thank Peggy for that wonderful introduction, and I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with me. This is a very important moment in the history of our nation, and I can't think of a better place to kick off my Medicare tour than here in beautiful Pahrump, Nevada. Now, when I first started in Congress 14 years ago, I didn't need glasses to read. Now I do. I thought all of you would understand that very well. And also, I have a tendency to talk with my hands. So I'll try to figure out how to do that with this microphone in one of my hands. I am really so very happy to be here with you in Pahrump and with all of you today at the Pahrump Senior Center. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to be with me. Today is a very special day. It's the 77th birthday of Social Security. On this day, August 14, 1935, then President FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, signed the Social Security law into law, and the man made history for this great country. There was a reason that Social Security was passed. For those of you that can remember what life was like back then, you know how the Depression destroyed the lives of so many of our fellow Americans, particularly our seniors. In those days, when you finished your productive working life, there was no way to support yourselves. If you were lucky enough to have an affluent family that could take care of you, so much the better. But if you were like the millions and millions of the rest of us, all of a sudden you found yourself out of your job and possibly out of your homes, no health care, not enough to eat, just because you were a senior citizen. Before Social Security, seniors were forced to provide entirely for themselves. This meant hardship and poverty for too many people. They were barely scraping by. And for some of you, you might remember those times. But then Social Security was created. Since then, millions of seniors have been lifted out of poverty and have been able to spend their golden years with some dignity and respect after a lifetime of hard work, knowing that they won't be forced on the streets and be homeless and alone. Social Security, along with Medicare, are two solemn promises that we have made to America's seniors. The promise is this: if you play by the rules, you work hard all your life, you pay into the system, you won't have to worry about living in poverty once you retire. That's the promise Social Security made with the rest of us. Unfortunately, as I stand here with all of you, celebrating the success of Social Security and Medicare, Social Security and Medicare are under attack by Washington Republicans like my opponent, Dean Heller. And with Mitt Romney choosing Paul Ryan as his vice presidential running mate, the danger to Nevada citizens just got more real. Paul Ryan is the architect of the Ryan budget. It's a radical and, in my opinion, dangerous piece of legislation that essentially ends Medicare by turning it over to private insurance companies. Senator Heller not only voted for this once, Not only did he vote for the Ryan budget, which ends Medicare as we know it once, he voted for it twice. And after he voted for it twice, voted to end Medicare as we know it, he stood there and said he was proud to be able to do that. How can you be proud to vote to dismantle the Medicare system that millions of Americans, thousands and thousands of Nevada seniors depend on to get their health care needs met?
That
is
nothing to be proud.
Nothing to be proud of. Dean Heller, after Paul Ryan was selected, could not have been more pleased. He said that Paul Ryan's selection was courageous. Proud, courageous. The Heller-Romney budget is nothing to be proud of. How can you be proud to end Medicare? By turning it over to private insurance companies. The Heller-Romney Ryan budget isn't courageous. It doesn't take courage to raise the price of seniors' premiums for Medicare by $6,000 a year. That's what the Independent Congressional Budget Office estimated. That if the Ryan budget that my opponent voted for twice is passed into law, that every senior in the United States will end up having to pay $6,000 a year more for the health care you're already getting under Medicare. Now let me put that in perspective. The average Social Security check in this country is $1,147 a month. Some may make a little more, some may get a little less, but the average check, $1,147 a month. From that check, you pay your rent, you pay your power bill, you pay for food, you pay for prescription medication. If it gets to be the holidays and you want to give your grandchildren a little gift, it comes out of the $1,147 a month that you're getting in your Social Security check. Where are people going to get an extra $6,000 a year? They're only bringing home $13,000 a year in Social Security. Where are they going to get another $6,000 a year to pay for the health care that they're already receiving under Medicare? Now that Paul Ryan has the chance, by being selected as the vice presidential candidate that my opponent supports, to be the vice president, the fact that he might be in that position makes Medicare, and they're taking away our Medicare, even more of a possibility. My opponent said that he supported the Ryan budget, not once, but twice. He said he was proud. How can you be proud to take away a program that has done so much for so many of our older Americans? It's worth fighting for. It's worth standing up in front of you and proudly proclaiming my support for the continuation of Medicare as we have it now. I want to clarify something, because I'm hearing the Republicans come back and say, oh, it doesn't affect the seniors now. It affects people that are 55 years old. So when they get to be 65, they will have prepared for this. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. How do you tell a 55-year-old college professor who's just been laid off at UNLV that 10 years from now, he's going to have to come up with an extra $6,000 a year? No job, 55 years old, has to relocate. You're going to tell him, in addition to supporting his family, which he has no way of doing right now, that he